this. We're not going to make this whole stream about Donald Trump because, again, I'm not the biggest fan, but I do want to know what's going on. And I think this, hey, Eddie Brown Music, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Let me see. So I saw it was trending on X. It was a 9-0 decision to not let states dictate federal rules, which is completely fair. It's, again, not a fan of Trump. Just gonna keep saying that because I keep getting everybody. Let me just tell you guys, content creation outside of streaming, of course, is a rough game because everybody wants to put you in a box, and it's just like, no, I'm just giving you the news, not trying to take sides here. So let's look into this. Who are we gonna trust? I mean, I wanna go to like a super ultra liberal site so I can taste their tears because I know the liberals are gonna be all sad about this. Okay, let's just go to the Guardian. I think the Guardian is a liberal. I think they're overseas, right? I think they're in the UK or whatever. But let's just get into this. Bad. All right. Red, down, Moving Dutchman. Yeah, you do want to put me in a box, Moving Dutchman. Welcome in. Good to see you. Glad that you're here, my friend. We're going to read through this. Again, we're not going to be staying on Trump this whole time. I do want to get into the AI music stuff because I'm freaked the fuck out. It's just a dick in a box. That's me. Dick in a box, baby. I'm just a dick in a box. A dick in the box, baby. I'm just a dick in the box. All right. I'm all fucking jacked to the tits. I'm fucking coffee right now, so let's do this. Let's fucking go. Donald Trump read the Supreme Court ruling on Trump's removal from Colorado ballot in full. That's what Trump did? Wait, I don't get it. Donald Trump was wrongly removed from Colorado's primary ballot last year. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled. He has ruled on this, or they have ruled on this. The U.S. Supreme Court, a unanimous 9-0 ruling overturning a decision by Colorado's top court that barred Trump from the ballot for his involvement in January 6th, clears the way for the former president to appear on the ballot in all 50 states. I'm all jacked up with Mountain Dew. But even with the decisive ruling, there was disagreement over whether the majority opinion protected insurrectionists in the future. In their decision, the U.S. Supreme Court writes, "We conclude that the states may disqualify persons holding or attempting to hold state office, but states have no power under the Constitution to enforce Section 3 with respect to federal offices, especially the presidency." So there you go. So what they were trying to do, again, Colorado, I believe Illinois, I think Maine, they were trying to dictate how this election was going to turn out on a federal level when they're just states. And in America, we have to abide by federal law. That is the law of the land. And so, like with the abortion thing that happened last year, they eliminated abortions from being a federal right, and they kicked it down to the states to make their decision whether or not the states want to have those abortion in their state. Ohio is one of those states. I think we just voted in that you can have an abortion up to 9 months. No comment for now. We're going to stay on here. So here is the court documents. And what's interesting about this is that it's a 9-0, so it's unanimous that there is a conservative majority in the Supreme Court right now. So it is very interesting that they all sort of agreed on as a whole, because most of the time, there's a division and then there's one Supreme Court justice who sort of sits in the middle and decides what's going to go through. This was unanimous with a liberal judges on staff, I guess. So it's very interesting that they all decided that this was not constitutional. And I agree. Even if you're not a fan of Donald Trump, if you look at, if you will start allowing states to set precedents on a federal level, then that opens the door for a ton of problems in the future. So I can see why that they all decided, like, hey, you can't just say who's going to be president, Colorado, you know? So I agree. I'm fully on board with this. Even if I don't care for Trump as president, I think that we have to think larger and zoom out a little bit because of future rulers and future leaders who might come in and abuse these laws. Again, I bring this up all the time, but the Patriot Act was a wartime act that was supposed to be temporary, but has been voted in to be it's law now. So once you start making these laws and start allowing these things to spiral out, it can cause problems in the future. Whereas like the Patriot Act, we are now under a surveillance state because of the Patriot Act. And because of some, what was it? I keep forgetting the name of it, but it happened under Obama, where American citizens can be detained and held without their rights for an indeterminate amount of time, which is dangerous. Yes, put Trump in prison first. Look, if Trump is found guilty and he is found to be an insurrectionist, then fuck him, right? Like, he's out. Then that's it. But if they don't find him guilty of it, then he has every right as an American citizen to run for president. Like you, I don't love Trump, but I don't think they did overreach on some of these trumped up charges. Yes, and I think that a lot of people, especially people who voted for Biden, I voted for Biden, a lot of Democrats are sort of understanding that, like, especially after the pandemic, we're seeing how much the corporate media, politicians, and these technocrats lied to us over and over. The Russiagate thing, right? Like, the whole Russiagate thing was complete made up bullshit funded by the Clinton team, right? Hillary Clinton had this all painted out, and it was all a lie. It was all a lie. So, like, when you start seeing that they lie so much about these things, when you see that they convicted him of fraud in New York, doing what real estate dealers do all the time in New York, where they pump up the price, try to get a loan on that so they can build other buildings. It's what they do all the time. Even the governor had to run defense and say, hey, this is just a special moment in history. This is, if you're not Trump, you're okay. Other real estate investors can come in and do the same thing that Donald Trump did and not be prosecuted for fraud and, shut down for like, what, $400 million? Wow, I hate that the indeterminate amount of time. Yeah. I can't remember what that was called. It's like the TTP Act or something. What is it? I'm spelling shit so wrong. Forever. Let's just see if something comes up. Surveillance under the Patriot Act, which again, we're talking about. The Patriot Act was supposed to be a wartime act, and it ended up being permanent now. Copyright term. What the hell was it called, man? If anybody knows, let me know, because I can't, my brain just does not work. What was it? Obama. Let's just put Obama. President Obama, indefinite detention bill. There you go. This is back in 2011. Obama signs indefinite detention bill, which that's part of it. It's part of the provisions of it. New bill could let president imprison Americans forever. Obama signs the Indefinite Detention Act. Americans. Anyways, there you go. It's something like that. So the NDAA. That's what is that what it is? the National Defense Authorization Act. That's what it is. And that allows him to, even if you're not, they can just detain you and keep you. They don't have, you have no rights. You're basically treated like a terrorist on Guantanamo Bay, which again, at the time, they're just saying like, this is, wartime stuff. These are things we have to do to protect the safety and integrity of American life. And really, it's just a way for people to maintain control, consolidate control. And if you do step out of line, they can just sort of shut you up, shut you down, and take you in. There was a reporter that just got arrested for reporting on January 6th. And he was just reporting on it, and the FBI just came and arrested him. And that's a huge blow to journalism, right? Because the First Amendment allows journalists to speak out against power. And what is that? What precedent does that send? If you can't speak out against power, then what's the point of journalism? I mean, the problem is, in America at least, that journalism is turned into a huge mouthpiece for the government. And that's a problem. That's a problem. You guys need a third option. I agree, Bon. And you know what we do with prisoners in the USA? We let them work for nothing. That's not for nothing, Moving Dutchman. We do pay them like 25 cents an hour. What a good idea that is. Yes, we enslave our prisoners. What's the third? Grab them by the ball. If it helps, there's got to be more options when voting for president. 2 options is not enough. Yes, it's the illusion of choice is what we like to call it here. It is a covert form of election interference. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, right? Because whether or not, there was ballots missing from the 2020 election here in America, there was a concerted effort to interfere with the election. Again, I bring this up all the time, but Time Magazine wrote a whole article about how the social media, the corporate media, and the government and the DOJ all planned to keep Donald Trump out of power. To me, that is election interference. They ran defense on Biden. They wouldn't allow Hunter laptop story to go viral on X and all the social media sites. No one covered it. The New York Post got taken down or at least suppressed with the story. It's crazy. It's crazy. That is definitely a way of election interference. Whether or not they're stolen ballots, I don't know. I'm not going to say it. And I don't want YouTube to fucking take down my video and give me a strike on my account. So we are just going to go with, hey, there was a concerted effort to not allow Trump back in office, which is not a good thing. Whether or not you like Trump, it's not a good thing. These are not good things. These set precedences for more fuckery to exist as other people come into power. These ideas and these policies and these these conspiracies because that is a conspiracy, right? Like they were conspiring to keep Trump out of office. These sort of things will be implemented for future potential leaders, potential congressmen, congresspeople, senators, fucking presidents, right? So it's very dangerous when it comes to a country that is supposedly supposedly a free representative republic. And Twitter bans. Yes, Twitter bans. Look up shadow campaign, remove Donald Trump. I forgot it was Time. We were just talking about that, Phil. And welcome in, bud. Yeah, it was a whole shadow campaign. Time Magazine wrote, they just flagrantly flaunting. Look what we did, everybody. You know what? Fuck this. We're just going to go ahead. Time Magazine. What was it? Hey, what's up? I'm from Turkey. Do you speak English? I do speak English. I do not speak English. That's okay. Welcome in, Ryan. from Turkey on Kick. Shadow. The Secret History of Shadow campaign that saved. Yes, we are. Yeah, it's funny. So this is the whole thing. If you guys want to read through this, this will tell you all about a 35-minute read. Well, we're not going to read this. I read this before. What kind of crackhead Illuminati shit is this? I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. It's whatever you want it to be. I'm dropping this in chat, guys, and if you guys want to look at this, it's a good read. It's a really good read, but yeah, they completely flaunt that they pretty much set up the sitting president to interfere with the election, and in my eye, that means that the election was stolen. Maybe not ballots, even though things were weird in the mail-in ballots and everything was kind of strange, but hey. We're not going to go there at this point. I'm here to roast you for fun and have fun for letting me roast you. I'm here to test your anger. How much can I piss you off? Well, Ryan, you're over at Kick. I don't really give a shit. I'm a content creator. I get roasted all the fucking time, all right? All the time. So let's kind of go through this quickly here because, again, I don't want to spend the whole fucking stream talking about Donald Trump because I want to get to this AI stuff. So let's see here. This was I was watching Benny Johnson. Maybe we should just Benny Johnson this shit. Man, The Guardian sucks ass. And Trump told us it was stolen. I'm into Donald Trump. Actually, I've never voted as a 27-year-old man. Well, you're in Turkey, Ryan, so you could just easily come here and walk right over the border, and they'll probably let you vote in the next election. So there you go. Come to America. The borders are wide open. Former Donald Trump is eligible to stay in the primary ballots. 9-0 ruling is the first in the high court's history on a so-called insurrection clause in the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Section 3 of the amendment, which was ratified after the Civil War, states that no one may hold federal or state public office if they have taken an oath to protect the Constitution as an officer of the United States and then engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. So that was what happened there. And then this 20-page ruling. So there you go, guys. Donald Trump will be able to run for president. Honestly, if you're going to talk politics, make it fun or funny. Pick between the two instead of reading from a website paragraph. Ryan, how about this? How about you eat a giant Turkish dick? How about that? How about you start your own stream and do it the way you want to do it? How about that, buddy? Here's the thing. Oh, you're just lying? I am from Turkey. I am not Turkish. I have freckles and American as shit. Oh, well, welcome to America. Ryan, your words mean nothing to me, dickwad. It doesn't mean shit to me. You can say whatever you want. You're in Chicago? Well, enjoy all the immigrants taking up all your shit. Barack Obama. Enjoy that. I live in a free state where I don't have to deal with a bunch of immigrants taking up my stuff. And you know what's funny? I can just turn off the chat. I don't even care. Like, I can just put you, I'm going to hide you. And now your words mean nothing. Congratulations, Ryan. You are nothing to me. Loser. Anyways, let's get into AI because this shit is scary. I'm telling you, if you're into music, he held office. Trump was never an officer. Ah, I see. Thank you for breaking that down. The AI deepfakes for Trump will be out in force this election cycle. Yes, indeed. AI is going to do that for us, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to see so many deep fakes. And I mean, we saw Sora. We went over Sora, a couple weeks ago, and how crazy it is for that they're able to make these high definition